this video, let us see a simple example of a Spring MVC application. Before jumping into the application directly, let us see the pictorial representation of this application. First, for us, we need index.jsp. In this index.jsp, let us have a simple link. Say hello. When the user clicks this link, a request is sent to the backend. For this, we need a controller. The request enters into the controller. So let us give the controller name as greetController. This is a simple Java class. In this controller, we will be writing the code to process the data. After the process is done, the controller is going to return the response back. How it will identify the appropriate JSP page based on the return value given by the greetController. Suppose if the return value is return success, then the dispatcher servlet will search for a page with the name success.jsp. And you will see your final output here. So for this simple MVC application, we need index.jsp. Then we have to create a controller, greetController. This should be created inside the controller package. Then we need to create success.jsp. The success.jsp will be created inside web-inf/pages or views. You can have the name of the folder as pages or it can be views. Inside that it is success.jsp. And always remember, this web-inf folder is within web app folder. And index.jsp also will be created inside web app folder only. Together with these three classes, we also have to provide few configuration details in application.properties. This is with regard to the view resolver which we have learnt earlier. Now let us move on to create the application. Before creating this application, we need to know few things. This is a web application, so it will be deployed as a WAR file. WAR means web archive file. We need to deploy this application in a server. That is a web server. In our case, let us use Tomcat server. The version of Tomcat that has to be downloaded is Tomcat server 9.0. So you need to go in for the official website of Tomcat server and download the zip file. Extract the zip file and put it in an appropriate location. Let me show you that. Let me open the browser. Search for Tomcat server download. Select the first search result. Scroll down. This is Tomcat version 9 and in the bottom you are having core. You need to download 64-bit Windows zip file. I have already downloaded it. Let me show you the extraction. D drive softwares. Here I have downloaded it and I have extracted it. So these are the two essentials that you need to remember. When you are creating a web application, you need to choose the packaging as WAR and also you should have Tomcat server added to your Spring toolsuit. Now let me move on to Spring toolsuit. First, let us add the Tomcat server. Go to Window, Show View, Other, search for Server, click Open. You can see a Servers tab. Click this link to create a new server. The window is very small, so pull it down, scroll up. You can see Apache. Select Apache Tomcat Server 9. Click Next. It will ask for the Tomcat installation directory. This is nothing but the directory where you have downloaded and extracted the Tomcat server zip file. Click Browse. Let me select the folder Apache Tomcat 9. If you are having two folders continuously, you have to select the folder before bin. Always remember, this is called as the Apache Tomcat Home. Before bin. You should not select the folder together with bin. It should be the folder before bin. Now let me click select folder. Now you can see this. If I try to select it together with bin, I will get an error. Can you see this? So it should be before bin. How many ever folders you are having? Sometimes when you are extracting, you would have extracted twice. So you'll be getting Apache Tomcat 9.0 / Apache Tomcat 9.0. That is okay, fine. But do not include bin. Once you have added it, click finish. Now the server is added. If you want to really check whether the server is working fine, select it, right click start. You can start it from here or you can start it from here. Here also there is a start button. The Tomcat server will be started in port number 8080. Click on the console. You will be seeing the server started in port number 8080. Also you can see a servers folder created because you have added the local Tomcat server to this particular workspace. Now let us start creating our application. Go to File, New, Spring Starter Project. Let us give the application name as spring-mvc-basic. The packaging is var. Group ID is com.greetapp. Package is com.greetapp. Click next. We need to get the web module, Spring Web, and click finish. The application is created successfully. Let me open it. Open the bottom src main web app. Within this web app only you need to create index.jsp. So let us create it. Select web app, right click, new, other, search for JSP. Sometimes you will not be getting JSP in the new version of Spring Tool Suite. In that scenario, you need to go to Help, Eclipse Marketplace. In the search window, type JSP and click search. You need to search for JSP. So this is the plugin that you need to install. Eclipse Enterprise Java and Web Developer Tools 3.22. You can see here it is having JSP included. For me, I have already installed. So I have got the JSP file widget. For me, I have already installed this. So I am having the JSP file plugin. Let me cancel this. Now let me select web app, right click, new, other, search for JSP. Guys, when you are downloading and installing, you need to follow the process that is given over there and restart your Spring Tool Suite. Only then you can see the JSP file. Select JSP file, click next. Give the file name as index.jsp and click finish. Now within this, let me create a simple link using the anchor tag. ahref equal to say hello. Let me open the main package, that is com.greetapp. Here you can see there are two classes now. Already we have discussed about this. The first class is the main class which we usually see in any other application. The second class is the servlet initializer class. This class is responsible for initializing the servlet and JSP engine. Okay. Now let us start creating the controller. Select com.greetapp, right click, new class. com.greetapp.controllers. All the controllers should be created inside the controllers package. The class name is greetController. This class should be annotated with @controller. Only then the Spring framework will understand that this is the controller which is responsible for processing the request. Now within this, let us add our own custom methods. Public string. The return type of all the methods in an MVC application can be string or model and view or response body. We will not be discussing about response body. Let us discuss only about string and model and view. So the first one what we are seeing is the return type is a string. The return value is nothing but the name of the JSP page that you are returning. I can have any method name, hello user. This method should be annotated with @request_mapping and pass the URL. The URL is slash, pass the value that you have given in the JSP page. So in index.jsp you have given it as say hello. That is the value that you need to pass. So this is called as the mapping part. This URL should match the value that you have passed inside href. Okay. Now within this hello user, you can call the service layer and get the result. But we do not have any service layer, but we want to send some data to the next page. So for that, we need to create our own model object. For creating a model object, let us pass model, import model. This is from spring framework.ui.model. The moment you pass this as parameter, Spring Framework is responsible for creating an implementation for this particular interface. Now let us attach some data. Model.add attribute. The first parameter is the dummy name. The second parameter is the original object that you want to send to the next page. Even string is an object, so we will pass a string value. This is the dummy name. The second parameter is have a good day. So here message is the reference name. Have a good day is the object that I want to send to the next page. And after that, pass the return value as the name of the view page. Return success. We have not yet created this page. We are supposed to create this page. Okay. So whenever you run this application, automatically it will go and call index.jsp. In index.jsp, when the user is clicking this link, it will directly go to the dispatcher servlet. The dispatcher servlet is responsible for identifying the appropriate controller. If you are having more than one controller, based on the name that you have given, it will go and match it to the appropriate URL in the request mapping. So the URL that is mapping here is say hello. And the process happens inside the method. If you want to call the service layer, you can call the service layer. Of course, we don't have any. So we are creating a simple model object. The value for the model object is have a good day, and it is returned with the dummy reference name as message. And you are passing the return value as the name of the view page. The view page name is success. So we are supposed to create the success page. Let us now create success.jsp. Select web app, right click, new, other, JSP. Next. The name of the file is success.jsp, and this should be created inside web-inf, inside pages or views folder. So web app / web-inf. Do not worry, automatically these folders will be created. / pages. Now within web app, it has created a folder web-inf. Within that we have pages folder. Inside that success.jsp is created. Now I need to get the value have a good day that is added here. The reference name is message. So I can directly use expression language. $, message. Say this. Now how will we inform the dispatcher servlet? It has to go and search for the success.jsp inside web-inf pages folder. For that, we need to add certain configuration details in application.properties. So open src main resources, application.properties. Here we need to add. So it is spring.mvc.view.prefix and spring.mvc.view.suffix. So what are these configurations? Let me explain it. In our controller, we have given the return value as success. Spring Framework will try to attach a prefix and suffix to the success value. So for that, we need to give the prefix and suffix for the success. The prefix is spring.mvc.view.prefix, which is equal to, and suffix equal to. So before success, we need to attach something. Where is this file located? It is located inside web-inf pages folder slash web-inf slash pages folder. So the success is inside web-inf slash pages. This becomes the prefix. So you have to add slash web-inf slash pages slash. You can have it as pages or you can have it as views. In our case, we have given it as pages, so I am adding pages. Remember to add the slash. If you do not give the slash, this too will be appended automatically. Now, in case of suffix, it is nothing but the extension that you have for your view template. In our case, it is JSP. If you are using time leaf, it will be TH. If you are using velocity, it is well. So that based on that, you need to add the appropriate suffix. So in our case, it is .JSP. So this becomes the suffix. So your dispatcher servlet will automatically add these two to the success value and identify the view template. It is like a puzzle. Dispatcher servlet is responsible for framing this whole path. Okay, now let us go back. Here it is slash web-inf slash pages in lowercase slash, and here it is .jsp. So all set. Let us see what we have done again. This is my index.jsp. In index.jsp, I have given a simple link, and this is the name which has to be mapped to the URL. Whenever you are running the application, always remember only the dispatcher servlet will be called first. The dispatcher servlet is only responsible for identifying the appropriate controller. So in our case, we are having only one controller. It will go and map the name that you have given in your href to the URL. So this is the URL pattern that we are having. This is mapped to a particular method. From within the method, we are creating a model object and giving a dummy reference name for the model object. Once it is done, we are returning the view template name. Based on the value that is given in the view template, the dispatcher servlet will take the prefix and suffix and attach it to the view template name to identify the final view page. So the application is completed. Let us run this application. You can run it in two ways. Select your application, right click, run as Spring Boot, or right click, run as server. You can select index.jsp, right click, run on server. In all the ways, it will work perfectly fine. Now it has opened a new window. Select Tomcat 9 because we have already added, it is available. Click next. So we are going to deploy this application as a simple WAR file. I will repeat, here the application is getting deployed as a WAR file, WebRQ file. It is deployed inside a server. Click finish. Restart server, because we have already started the server and we have kept it. It is asking us to restart the server. Click OK. Okay, the application has started. Before that, let us see the console. Let me maximize the console. Here you can have a look. First, the Tomcat server is getting started. Then the Spring application is getting bootstrapped. Let us try to understand the console messages. Here the servlet initializer is getting started. Then the embedded web application context is getting initialized. Then the root web application context is getting initialized. Now the application is ready. Let me minimize this. I'll go to the browser. Click say hello. Automatically you can see the output. It is printing have a good day. See the URL. The URL is say hello. The page that you are seeing here is success.jsp. Now again some changes have happened in the console. Let me maximize the console. Once a request is coming from the client, as I told, the dispatcher servlet is getting initialized. The dispatcher servlet then identifies the appropriate controller. The controller does the process and returns the view name to the dispatcher servlet. The dispatcher servlet returns the response as the view page. Now let us add two more URLs to understand model map and model and view. Open index.jsp. Let me copy this. The second one, let me have it as welcome. The last one as greet user. So these two links should be mapped to the appropriate methods in the controller. Let me open the controller. Here let us add the methods. Public string welcome. This time let us use model map. Model map. As I told, the moment you add this model map an inbuilt class as parameter, Spring framework is responsible for creating an object of this particular class. And this should be annotated with @request mapping /welcome. Import model map. Now let us create a model object. Map.add attribute. The method is same. This is also having same parameters. The first parameter is the reference name. The second parameter is the object. Welcome to MVC. And return success. See, I am having the same reference name. If you want, you can give a different name. If you are giving a different name in success.jsp, you need to retrieve it using expression language. Okay. Now let us add the third method also. In case of the third method, let us have the return type as model and view. Model and view. The name itself implies this is a class which has both the model object and the view template name. Let us see how to use it. Greet user. Now this time I don't have to give anything inside the parameter because using this class itself we will create the model object and the view template. Annotated with @request mapping /greet user. See, it is not mandatory that the URL name and the method name has to be same. I have given it like that. Okay, here let me change it to simply greet. Now let us create a model object. Model and view. Model view equal to, it is having a parameterized constructor. Select the one which is having the view name, that is success, the model's dummy reference name, then the model object. So I am going to select this particular constructor. The first parameter is the view name, success. The second parameter is the dummy name, message. And the third parameter is the model object that I want to return. Greetings for the day. And return the model view object. It's not mandatory that you need to use the parameterized constructor. You can go in for a default constructor and call the methods of model view. Model view dot set view name. Then model view dot add attribute. Like that you can just give it line by line. But here I am giving it in a single line. That's all. Return model view. So here I am creating a model and view object. Now save all. Now select index.jsp. From here I can run it. Right click, run as, run on server. Or already we have run the application. So on the top from here also you can select Spring MVC basic. Restart server. The application is started successfully and it is opening the browser. Click welcome. It's printing welcome to MVC. If you notice, only after the client clicks the link, a request is taken to the server which initializes the dispatcher servlet. Let me go back. Click greet user. See the URL. Based on the URL name that you have given, it is getting mapped to the appropriate method. It is printing that. Greetings for the day. That's all. Thank you.